guys, and welcome to another video. So as we do go into a couple of weeks international break, I thought now would be a decent time to start throwing out that scraping the bottom of the barrel content, where we are going to be going over my sort of top 5 players of the season so far. Granted, we've only got into double figures, or only just got into double figures in terms of games played, but I thought what I'll do is go through my sort of top 5 performers. To be fair, given Sunderland's start to the season, which has been a very, very positive one for the most part, it has been very, very difficult to try and squeeze it down to 5, because every time I get 5 in, I think, oh God, how have I left him out? And then I'll swap him in and out. So there's going to be players that I don't mention that you can you're more than welcome to leave in the comments as well. But I'm going to be going through my sort of top 5 performers in no particular order really, but I'm going to be going through my top 5 performers so far this season in red and white. Now it has come at a decent time for me as well, this break. I will quickly explain why. So if you didn't see my live stream, or if you didn't manage to make my live stream recently for, I think it was the Reading game, I did the live stream. So basically I am moving house. I am moving from the house I'm in now. I'm actually moving to a flat. I'm getting my own flat. I'll be moving by myself. So for the last sort of week or two, it has been all hands on deck. I've been obviously buying stuff for the flat. I've been picking up extra shifts at work because I need the frigging money. Do you know what I mean? So it is difficult to get any form of content in at the minute. But I am trying my best, guys. So if you do see, several days, maybe in a week or so, without any videos, it's because of that. And the day I move in is the 1st of October, when we're supposed to go back to the season again. So I might even miss the Preston game because I'm going to be moving into the flat. And of course, I'm not going to have time to sit and watch a game of football. So we shall see anyway. But yeah, we'll get into this video. So at number 5, again, it's in no particular order, but I am going to do it like this. So number 5, I am going to be going with Luke O'Nien. Now, there was a massive, massive question mark over whether Luke O'Nien, along with a lot of other players as well, there was a lot of question mark as to whether he could jump up from League One to the Championship. Again, a lot of players had that question mark. But Luke O'Nien, we all say, what's his best position? For me, it is 100% a defender. It is a centre-back. That's what the lad is. Yes, when he first came to us those years ago, he was a central midfielder. He was known as a sort of box-to-box midfielder, getting forward from midfield. But it's never really gone for him. And every time I have seen him in the centre midfield, generally, yeah, he might put himself about a bit, but it does become this little bit of a headless chicken. And I think he's found himself a real home as a defender, particularly in the back three. And he's very, very good at it. He's not like just doing a bit of a job for us and he's doing all right. He's been absolutely outstanding in the back three, alongside the likes of Danny Barr as well, Sirkin when he was fit, Alessi now in more recent times. He's been outstanding, absolutely outstanding, and I can't knock the lad. Even his positional awareness is improving. It isn't excellent, but it's improving. But, his challenges, the way he's winning things in the air, his general gameplay in a back three, it's been nothing short of outstanding. So Luke O'Nien for me, he gets a good, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. It would have been a 9 had he not scored the own goal against Watford last time out. But Luke O'Nien, I can't complain about him at all. So yeah, I'm going to give him the number 5 spot. Now at number 4, we've barely mentioned his name this season, and it's mad, and it's for a reason. It's Linden Gooch. Now, Linden Gooch is another one who everyone had a question mark over. There was literally a good 70% of Sunderland fans, particularly on Twitter, that were hating the fact that we've signed him again. He become a little bit of a scapegoat, and I think that can be because, yeah, he can be a very frustrating player at times, particularly, over the last few seasons where he's known as, trying to be Ronaldo or Messi or what have you, taking on a man, he wants to go back and do it again. But he's learnt from that. The back end of last season in League One, he was outstanding. He's getting crosses in early. He's not faffing around with it. Yes, he can try and take on his man. Sometimes he does take it a bit too much, or it's not going to go particularly well or to plan. But it doesn't always work out like that. But recently, more often than not, it has worked out. He's not constantly trying to take on the same man over and over again. He's got his crosses in early and the good quality crosses as well. And defensively, he's been absolutely outstanding. And why I say it is because we don't mention him as much is because even, I think, in League One, when we're not playing particularly well, so many people just pile on Linden Gooch when the other half of the team could be just as bad as him. They just did it. They just used him as a scapegoat. But now we don't mention him because he's almost Mr. Reliable now. He's given a 7 or 8 out of 10 performance every single game. So you hear no one even mention him because he just slots into that role so well, and he's been excellent. And I'm not going to leave him out, and I'm not going to skip past that just because he's playing all right and he's playing well. I'm not going to forget about him now. You need to give praise when praise is due, or give credit when credit is due. And Linden Gooch is absolutely deserved of that praise. So Linden Gooch, I'm going to give him in the number 4 spot. Now, my number 3, it is another defender, and it's Danny Barr. So, Danny Barr, for me, which I find pretty mental, is for that back half of the League One season, Danny Barr was on the bench for the majority of it, and Bailey Wright found himself in there with other players alongside him. Danny Barr was on the bench, and when did he come on every now and then? He's looked a little bit slow. He wasn't great. Yes, he was the big brick shithouse that we know, but it was Bailey Wright that was seemingly more favoured, and you barely saw him at all. They started at the beginning of this campaign in the Championship, and it's like he never left the Championship when he dropped down to us. He's been class, an absolute rock in that middle 3, or whatever situation or formation we go with. Generally, the sort of 3 at the back, isn't it? Or with wing backs of 5, if you want to call it that. He's been incredible. He has been a leader. He wins everything in the air due to his height and his strength, his physical ability. Defensively, he's been excellent. Positionally, at times where, when you're in a back 3, sometimes it can go in a bit of a mess. But he's improved at that, even at his age. And he just gives us that sort of calmness at the back 3 when he's been generally alongside young players. Give it, either Alessi, or Sirkin there, Nayin. He is that leader across the back 3, and he's been absolutely outstanding. He really has. I'm going to keep using the word outstanding because these 5 players, of course, have been outstanding. They're standing out, and that's why I'm mentioning them. But Danny Barr, I just didn't expect him. I didn't expect him that good because I thought, of course, Bailey Wright, like I say, was getting used more often than not in League One. Danny Barr comes in, and he's one of the first guys on the team sheet. Absolutely incredible centre-back, and he just screams championship ability at least, do you know what I mean? And he's been fantastic. So Danny Barr, another sort of surprise package for me. Of course, we knew that he was off championship ilk, but we'd barely used him in the League One. Comes into championship, and he's been absolutely fantastic. Really, really like and enjoy watching Danny Barr. I really enjoy seeing him play at the back. But now we're going into our top 2. So, for my number 2, I'm going to be going for Jack Clarke. Now, Jack Clarke is one of those, again, that's very, very inconsistent. But what I do like about Jack Clarke is one of those players who he can go 60, 70 minutes when he frustrates the hell out of you. He'll frustrate the life out of you. A little bit like Linden Gooch when he's trying to take on his man loads, or his cross, or his final ball has been appalling. It's time and time again, crosses are just sailing over the bar, or missing everyone, or the terrible, he hit the first man, etc. And then he'll come up with a moment of magic where he will either take on the whole team and score a goal, or he'll pop up with an incredible assist. He's one of those who he can literally give you a 5 out of 10 performance and still grab a goal or an assist. He's one of those players, and he has come on absolute leaps and bounds, that kid. Again, if you compare to League One, when he first started, he was so inconsistent, dropping in and out the side, and I thought, can he even make it at League One? He had finished really, really strongly to his League One campaign, and he absolutely brought it into the Championship campaign. Of course, straight away getting himself a goal against Coventry on opening day of the season, header at the back post. He's gone on to get himself 3 goals amongst assists as well. He's been fantastic. When he gets on the ball, yes, sometimes he can be a bit frustrating with his final ball and taking on his man or keeping hold of it for a little bit too long. But in general, you want Jack Clarke on your team. He has been that good. He really, really has. So Jack Clarke is my number 2. So number 1, you've probably already guessed it. It is none other than Loch Ness Drogba, and it is absolutely heart-wrenching. It's gut-wrenching that he has picked himself up an injury because, again, is another player who had a question mark. Can he come up from League One to the Championship? Absolutely. I thought he would have been able to do it anyway, but of course you do have those little bit of doubts in the back of your mind. And he's been incredible. He was absolutely wiping the floor with Championship defenders before he did pick himself up an injury. Fantastic. He's one of those players. He can do it all. He can press with a bit of pace, put himself about, hold up the play, bringing in the midfielders, bringing in the 10s and the wingers. Excellent at doing that, but he's also incredible at getting in behind. The clever runs that he pushes in behind. Great finisher, great head. He can do anything. Absolutely anything, this lad. And literally, the sky is the limit for this guy. And again, it's heartbreaking, it's gut-wrenching that he hasn't been able to add to his 5 goals so far because of his injury. And even with his injury, he makes it to my number 1. I did say at the beginning of the video that it isn't in order, but it just happened to be in order now, hasn't it? But but yeah, those are my 5 players. Again, it's a relatively short video, I do apologise, but it's just one of those videos, trying to give you a bit of filler in between now and when we go back to the season again against Preston. So those are my sort of 5 key players. There's other players I could absolutely mention. Pato, I think, has been great, but there's just little bits here and there that I think it can improve on. Along with other players, Corey Evans has been excellent. Dan Neal's been brilliant. He hasn't looked out of place in the Championship. Amongst other players, there's loads I could mention. Sirkin, absolutely incredible. But I don't know how the hell Sirkin didn't get in it. But I just thought other players needed a mention as well. But again, let me know in the comments down below who your top 5 performers so far for Sunderland are, or if you don't support Sunderland, who have your performers in general been? across the championship. If you've enjoyed, please hit the like button and keep on subscribing if you are new. There's plenty of you guys that still watch the videos regularly. I know you do. I've seen the stats, and you haven't subscribed, so please do. It's massively appreciated. And yeah, take care and stay jammy.